that us?
Well, welcome here filling out this morning, everybody, to Falkirk Football Club. I think you know why we're here. We're here announcing Gary Holt as the new head coach of Falkirk Football Club. Those who know me, I'm Martin Ritchie, I'm the chairman, and you all know Alex Smith, so I want you to introduce Alex. We're absolutely delighted to have appointed Gary. He'll be starting with us formally next Monday morning, and so he's straight in and first game being the semi-final against Hibs. So a great way to start a managerial career. I thought maybe just say one or two things very briefly, because I know that you likely just want to ask Gary questions and less so of me and less so of the club. What we were looking for at the club, we had a lot of applications for this job. We had experienced managers, we had well-known names in football, we had a number of people who have had good playing careers with Falkirk. And we narrowed it down and we came to select Gary. And I think the key things that we've been looking for is we've had this philosophy of the young players and the academy. And the thing that most clubs find very difficult is how do you get to a very good star at under 17 in your academy and get him to be able to play first team football. And that's one thing we've been successful at Falkirk, and something we've worked very hard at. And we certainly wanted somebody who could carry on with that philosophy of getting the good young players and making them into first team footballers. But the other thing, Falkirk's got a demanding fan base. We see ourselves as a club that should be at the top level of Scottish football, and we needed somebody who had the drive and the determination and the enthusiasm and the skills to be able to take us to that level. And Gary was the guy who stood out during the process, in the selection process, to be able to do that for us. I've just got Alec here on the table with Alec, our technical director for football at the club. And Alec was also involved in the selection process. I think what was different about this selection process was we involved our supporters, our fans represented from the board was part of that process, and with another director and with Alex Smith. And I think maybe that to me was one of the key things that we did here. It's normal for directors to go and choose their next manager because we all think we understand football. We sit up at the back of the stand and think we know what we're doing. But this time we actually took advice that we had Alec, who actually understands has to go on in the training ground and what has to go on in coaching. So Alec was very much part of that process. So I want to thank Alec for that. Also for steering us through the last few games, and with 3 wins in a row, all the way from home, Gary, you're going to have a pretty hard time to follow. So I'd like to thank Alec, and with that, just hand over to Alec, maybe just to say a few words.
I would just like to say on behalf of the Falkirk Football Club and my staff that in Gary we have a young, ambitious coach who wants success, and he offers that kind of enthusiasm and vigour that's necessary for this club. We are a club that embrace youth development. As you know, the academy has become synonymous with the football club. Last night, for instance, there was somewhere about 11 players in the squad who came through the academy. 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and they've all played probably about 450 games between them, and they've all came through the academy. So we need that kind of enthusiasm and ability to be able to harness that enthusiasm and be able to have the courage to make the decisions when the young players have to come into the team, whether it's a cup final, whether it's a semi-final, or whether it's an important league match. We need that. And the past manager, as you know, Stephen Presley, did that and had the kind of courage, and we'd seen in Gary that type of character and personality and courage to take these decisions. We get all the help for the football club as much as we can with all the help from me, that to make him successful in the game. But one of the things that really impressed us was his burning desire, which belongs to the young coach, to try and help Falkirk along the way and take us to levels that we'd all like to get back to.
I'm just like to say I'm a proud man, you know, proud to be here. It's a burning desire of mine to be a manager, and the interview process went really well, and I'd just like to say thank you to the chairman and Alec and the Falkirk board for appointing me, and hopefully it'll be a successful journey starting from today.